Post long posts in forums, cut copying those posts, forum to forum to forum. Now, what we see happen, let's just put this phone here. What we see happen all the time for years in the OCD recovery community is basically when you're really stuck with OCD and you've got sort of a long background story of some like false memory, real event thing from the past that's really been latched and you haven't found a way to get over it yet, and you've been to countless people and countless specialists and you haven't got over it, so you think, God, I've got to relay this perfectly in lots of forums so that everyone can understand it and I can get a proper opinion on it until I get the right information to unlock this lock, right? That's very much what happens. But then you've got a compulsive cycle going on, because what tends to be happening there is you are in a position where you are trying to accurately, to the perfect position, get someone to understand every single thing about your OCD problem, so that it's kind of reassurance and a checking compulsion. And so you're putting out all these facts that you don't need an answer to. You need to get used to the uncertainty and the discomfort of them not understanding it fully and not grasping every point. Some people come into sessions and they're like, Rob, I don't know if I'm conveying to you exactly what I'm thinking. I don't know if you're understanding and getting completely what I'm saying here. And can I just say that again? Can I just repeat that? Because they're desperately trying to chase to ensure that they're being understood, that nothing is missed out, that they're completely understood on this OCD recovery journey. And that very much happens. That happens a lot. A lot of people get themselves stuck in that position. Because they think that only when they get that feeling of just right, then they're going to be able to relax, then they're going to be able to be okay. And then they never get that feeling of just right, because OCD keeps morphing into those subtle gaps of uncertainty and then sort of nicely, snugly nestles itself just out of reach from an exposure or the thing you just said or something like that, so that it's just constantly moving bit by bit, like if you were trying to grab a bird that was on a branch. Okay, if there's a branch and there's a bird, how does a bird move when you're trying to grab it? It just goes like that, just one bit to there, to there, to there, and that's how it keeps moving, because it does that. And it does that for just because of sort of evolutionary reasons, not needing to move so far, only to the maximum amount to avoid being caught by a predator. And so OCD does that. It just moves. Same with goalposts. If you're saying like, oh my God, what if I did this when I was 11? It goes, what if you were 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? And it moves it gradually. It just keeps out of your reach. The second you accept something, then it moves and morphs. And you've got to be expecting of it to do that, okay? So if you're going forum to forum, cut copying, that's a compulsion. But unfortunately, if a lot of forums aren't moderated well enough, what happens is that goes on all the time, and people do just keep going from forum to forum doing that. And that becomes a problem, because then you just go to forums and it's just five-page Word doc, one after the other. And people send that to me all the time. I get every day, maybe 6, 7 of those long 6-page long posts. Hi, Rob, can you just tell me, is this OCD? And then just 6 pages. And then they're sending that to so many different people as a form of reassurance. Understandably so, that's how the disorder presents itself. So they're going to keep doing that. And then if someone is not clued up on that, they're going to keep responding. Or particularly, as I've covered on here in other videos, what will happen is they'll go to therapists who don't understand that, and they'll go to their parents, or they'll go to family members, and just anyone who doesn't understand that, they will just keep saying, oh yeah, that seems okay there, okay, I did that, that's all right, or just say that bit again so I understand that. And it's just a disaster going downhill. So you've got to be aware, as I've covered in other videos, and as often said on here, reassurance is very sneaky. As Nick was sort of saying the other day, it's a sort of reassurance sneaking. It becomes like that because we become sort of an expert of sneaking in wise to it. So that's the nature of how OCD operates, okay?